All right, let's get into man-made weather, the kingdom of heaven at hand, and bring some different light on this because we are all connected to this earth. We are all connected to each other. How are we connected? Well, we're connected through light. We are all light beings, and we're all putting off this electrical charge, and the electrical charge that makes your heart beat is the same charge that goes and transfers when you shake a hand, when you smile, when you don't smile. It doesn't matter if you do or don't, okay? These are just charges that man likes. And since man is that son of God, we are the lampstand of God. God is light. The Lord God is the sun. So these things are shining through man. Okay? So we can be the single eye where we know this world's made for me and this world is mine. We can also live where we are a moon to others and we reflect their light. Okay? We are the sun, moon, and stars all within us. We are the whole earth within us. We're just a shell. We're an eggshell for light, and it cracks open when we're ready to be born. Okay? Into the other world. As we're all connected, there's positive, there's negative, there's these charges upon earth, and through death, there's life, because we can't live without death. We have to kill something, whether that be an animal or a plant. It's all light connected to give us life so we can take care of this earth, so we can take care of each other. And right now, as in the days of Noah, everything is corrupt. How's it corrupt? Well, everybody's robbing Peter to pay Paul, and everything's gotten beyond measure. And as the rulers of darkness rule this light and it's gotten beyond measure, we need a new ruler and those types of things. So, and the rule her times to the Lady Liberty coming to pull back the reins and ride the beast and such, and that ties to Kamala or Jill or whatever they got stuck up their sleeves or whatever, but it appears to be Kamala Debbie Harris. Okay, so we got that combs for those parts and the bangs and stuff. So as we used to live before the Pandora's box was open, which is the internet, the heaven, the window into heaven, where you can see all things that all men are doing, and how the Spirit of God, that light of God, is shining through all men and all countries and all areas and all these other things. Okay, Christ is the living God. We are all bodies and members of Christ. How is that being gathered up? It's being gathered up through the AI. The AI is in that mid-dill of the brain. Or you can have the EI in the brain for that rain. And that's when the bee reigns, for the queen coming in to, or the wasp coming in, whatever, the eagles coming and snatching the baby ox and the baby lions. All right. This we at her, the weather, man-made, they can be giving us that cloud seeding in our brain, and that meteorologist, it's bouncing off the ionosphere and it's creating a hot or cool atmosphere. Okay, so as this frequency is working through man, the Pandora's box is opened. It used to be contained. The foreheads used to be compartmentalized. Used to have baggies on the bad stuff and these types of things. It used to be behind the counter. Now it's all opened up. And how is it opened up? Because y'all bought into it. Y'all are the ones laughing at the bosom buddies and all these things. Oh, it's funny over there, but as long as it's not Jimmy in the office or whatever kind of thing. Okay, so, but this is where it's the hypocrites. The Jesus is coming to judge the hypocrites. And then your Lord of Lords, that Jesus inside of you, is going to be hung in the Sodom, the Sodom. And the sod is already being laid out for the Elon, as the sun has been sprouting on it. And now it's being laid in the dark MAGA. Dark MAGA is lava rock. All right, the lava rock hopefully floats in the flood. Either way, so the cloud seeding and such, this can be for the 80-20 rule, 20-80 rule, where they show us 20% on this world stage and we reflect 80% of it. As we reflect 80% of it, we bring this change in this earth through this world. The new heaven and earth obviously comes through us. So as they feed these things through this projection, the phone and TV and all these things, these are for certain times. And as the phone with the AI and all these things, and AI everywhere, is to gather up all the information of man, and it taps into the invisible net around the earth, and we got that invisible net in our brain. All these things are built on top of each other, and it stacks or whatever. So we're just like walking earth systems in this walking earth system. We're that tuner in tune where we got the moon and sun inside of us reflecting off the Satan, the Jesus, the Lucifer. It's all coming together. So this is where this dude that knows all this, he's coming in from way back when or whatever. And there's probably times when the Roman Empire, whatever, these things stack. This isn't the first phone. This isn't the first AI system or whatever, right? Your Bible was more than likely written by a computer, because there's that's a whole nother story, dude. But the way the script is, and the way it's written and all these things, it would have to be kind of written by a computer. But I know I probably just lost a bunch of you. Well, I lost a bunch of you way back in the beginning of this, but either way, dude, the kings, the lights of the earth, they're charging us up and getting us ready and bringing all these things, and these lights have been exposed, and people have bought into it, they gave their money for it, they supported these commercials and all these other things, okay? So they supported Coca-Cola or Bud Light or whatever during Bosom Buddies or whatever these shows where the men dress up like women, and then as soon as Bud Light dresses a woman up like, we gotta boycott. Well, you should have boycotted it back then instead of laughing at it or whatever kind of thing. So you've already lost, and this is where the hypocrites, and then the hypocrites, well, you're eventually going to run out of water because the lion's going to get on your back. Or basically it's the babies we're worried about, because all the big animals are going to be going off to war and slaughtering each other basically, but all the baby ones, the eagle will snatch your little fat hippo up, or the lion will get it or whatever, but that ox, that workhorse and that kind of shit or whatever, that's going. Okay, that's why we got the robots coming in. And then the robots are going to give us a freedom from doing that old shit, and we're going to be able to go and do some new stuff. Okay, so then we're going to work together. So what we listen to, what we watch, okay, not everybody is affected the same way. But, you know, when we've been brought up into something, when we've been watching something or listening to something or whatever our whole life, okay, they talk about so-called addiction or whatever. Well, let's talk about addiction to your so-called programming, how you view your programming, because you've been told since day one that the earth is this rolling around a ball, or this, or this, okay? And you've been fed by the 80% of your whoever, this ultra processed food, ultra processed drinks, ultra processed entertainment, all these things, okay? So when you're brought up in this, you're in that frequency of that alpha state, that American dream, that just sleeping on through. You don't have a fucking clue what's going on. You're given over to the delusion that it tells you, because it tells you if it were possible, even the elect would be deceived. So that's telling you that everyone is given over to the so-called idiocracy, except a very few elect. Okay? So as we're going into this new heaven and earth, as people are going to be propelled into that seventh heaven, that rapture so-called, that's where they're at the top of the sands of time. Where are we? And then they just get dumped on. Oh, lights out. And that's where we're at. Eat it up with your buffets and all these things are a test. The king size me. The king size me. Well, you're on that chessboard. And that Lord of Lords, that king is being placed on that king size me. The 2 plates, 3, whatever, that's being stacked up into a corner where you can't get out. And you're being put in checkmate. And as the climb mate, czar, and all these things are coming in, where you're getting your rations and all these things, that the rations, the rats on, that's just another play on the so-called black plague, the black plague. And the black plague is your Lady Liberty coming in, Oprah, Kamala. Right now it's Kamala, but I can see where they can do the old paradise rolls, and we get the old snake eyes here and there. But doesn't necessarily have to be before the election. We got 2 months after the election for a reason, and those connect us to the old 1611 I've showed you. But the weather modification and the we at her modification, y'all are being modified to hate or love or whatever kind of thing. And as your freedoms, as your Washington was a refugee, a wig wearer, a powder wearer, a pantyhose wearer, a big shiny buckle shoe wearer, big heels, smoke cannabis, all these things, okay? It's okay, only okay for Halloween. I wouldn't be surprised if this year that we got some political person or Barron Trump or whatever kind of thing, that they dress up for Halloween as a woman, you know, and everybody gets all fucking stir crazy. All right, be great. Either way, we are part of that weather control. All right, so once all this anger and hate and all the alphabet, and this is where we can get the extreme weather and the extreme and the X-Files and all these things are coming and creating those crossroads in men, and they're propelling their energies out, and as they propel their energies out, the storms come. So it just all works together. And then when they pull all these people's, when the ports go out and the Walgreens and CVS, all these things kind of shut down, or where you can't get your medication or whatever kind of thing. When they stop handing out the antidepressants and a lot of people repelled. Okay, you gotta smoke some weed. I'm gonna bring you on to smoking some weed soon, and we'll do a whole nother video on that plant for the healing of nations. All right, so a lot of people aren't into that self-discovery.